Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today we're talking about gold and silver stacking. That's right, I have a little journey for you. Today I'm about to sell some silver ounces at a store that I will tell you afterwards here in the Atlanta metro area. So I don't know what their policies are, but you guys, we're going to talk about gold and silver stacking. Because remember, you had to buy at a number. Let's just say it was $20 an ounce. Then you had to add the premium to it. So now the question is, when you sell, how much do you lose on the sale? Well, this particular dealer says 93%. Now, you won't believe it. I called other places. They said 80% of spot. This guy's the only guy that was in the 90s. 93%. Let me know what you guys think, and welcome. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back. This is about the gold, silver, platinum, palladium stackers, gold and silver buyers and sellers. This is a story about buying in the metro Atlanta area. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, we got to get into it today because you guys, I will say, this is my personal take on gold, silver, and precious metals. I say have a small percentage of it. Why do I say that? I'm going to give you the numbers today on what happened, approximately what I purchased the gold and silver for, and what they are buying it for, and what led to me going to this particular person. So I'm in a city that I'm not familiar with, and so therefore I go through the yellow pages, so to speak. I do the internet searches, and I'm trying to sell gold and silver. So I call up the first person. I'm not going to mention any names, but the first gold, silver, whether they have shops or whether it's a dealer, I just called up and they said something incredible. They said, we will give you 80% of spot price. And I'm like, wait, isn't silver, in this case I'm talking about, isn't silver like $31, so you're going to give me like $24, $25? The reason why I bring this up is because this is what I'm referring to. If there is a crisis and people need money, just like in Venezuela, when people left the country with their gold and silver and precious metals, when they got to Colombia, the Colombia dealers, they did the same thing because they knew you were in distress, and said, no, we're not giving you nowhere near. We'll give you 60%. So that's what you have to deal with. And people don't think about this. They're thinking because what they see is the price that they're going to be able to get that price. That's generally not the case. There's only a few dealers that will give you what the spot price is. So therefore, they have to make money. So they try to take off a little bit of money, not 20% though, but something. So that's the first person. So I hang up the phone, thank them for the info. I call the second person. The second person, they also said 80%. I could not believe what I was hearing. I'm like, this is crazy. So I pick up the phone, call a third person. This guy, gold, silver, and I don't know if he did jewelry or whatever, buyer, but so he did buy. As I'm now thinking about the conversation, I'm going to tell you what he said. He says, unfortunately, I'm full. Meaning what he meant was I'm full because I'm not buying right now. So that generally indicates that a lot of people are selling their gold and silver and precious metals. So he says, call these other guys, Atlanta gold buyers. They should be fine. He gave me the phone number. I call him up and I get this guy Hunter on the phone. And I say, Hunter, simple question. I have gold and silver. What are you going to give me for it? He says 93% of spot price. I said, okay, that's a lot better than 80%. So needless to say, I made another call. Another person said this silly number, 80%. So then I called and spoke with Hunter again and said, when can you get me in? They do appointment only. So I'm kind of doing like an ad for them. If you think 93% of price is good for your precious metals, then you should call Hunter. I'll have the phone number on the screen so you can go check them out. They're up in Alpharetta, Georgia. All right, that's where they're at. And you can give them a call before you go. It was straight. It was easy. It was simple. No craziness. And great person. And just handled it just like a person would. I could have been in there in less than 5 minutes. But, we had a discussion a little bit about, gold, silver, precious metals, what's going on in the markets, what's really happening. And there's a lot of people. He's booked up almost every hour because you have to make an appointment. He'll make an appointment with you and schedule you in. And he has appointments almost all day from people trying to sell or purchase. And most people, he says right now, is selling. For instance, here's the good news for everybody that bought gold. Like these were from 2018 that I sold today. Gold, 100% more than the previous purchase price. All right, which is good. Silver, on the other hand, because of the 7%, 93%, silver, on the other hand, nowhere near 100%. It's more closer to 45 to 50%. So some would say, well, then maybe I should think about gold. Well, gold is always the standard. Some people look at gold like today and it says, I think $2,600. People are thinking I have to buy a full ounce. Well, some people may not know you can buy a gram. And sometimes the premium is lower on the gram, which is kind of funny, right? So just keep that in mind. If you don't want to go large, go smaller. So that's a little advice right there. And I just wanted to give a shout out again to Atlanta. In fact, before I forget about this, why don't I go to the Stop Struggling Now YouTube podcast page, because I did forget. Make sure if you like what I'm talking about today and other things I talk about, then please subscribe to the channel and also become a member. A few members of the channel shown on the right hand side is courtesy of YouTube. And here is Atlanta Gold and Coin Buyers website. It's called atlantagoldandcoin.com. So therefore you can see 2661.90 and 3145 today. So that was great. They did business honestly, ethically. Of course, they checked it out to make sure it was 100% legit, because, that's how you have to do business these days. And so therefore, great guys. So the number will be down below or flashing on the screen. If you are in the Atlanta area and are interested in buying or selling your precious metals, I would suggest you go see him and them and give them a call. And with all that said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. And therefore, you have to find assets that in case, or if you want to sell later, you need assets that are easily sellable. Property is sellable. Gold and precious metals are sellable. And Owning a business could, in theory, be sellable, but at least you're making profits coming in. There's lots of things you need assets. Assets are those here in the SSN Nation is something you buy that pays you. And unfortunately, I do not look at gold and silver as an asset. The reason why I do not is because from 2018, when those things been sitting on a shelf for the last 6 years, sure, I made 45 to 50% return on the silver and 100% return on gold. But in the last 6 years, have you seen the stock market has doubled? In fact, if we go back 6 years, I haven't looked, but I'd be willing to bet you it more than doubled. It's 2.5 times. So I actually lost on both fronts. Think about it. It could have been 250% or 100 for 250% for gold and 125 or there-ish about for silver percent. And instead I got 45 to 50 and I only have 100%. So again, and I could have been receiving dividends at the same time as well. So this is why I do not consider gold and precious metals as an asset, because once I put it on the shelf, bury it in the backyard, put it in the black hole, it does me no good. It just sits there. Now, some people would say, well, it's a hedge against wealth. Well, I'm like, well, okay, that's fine. But the reality of the situation is I can only buy generally what I could buy before. And in this case, I'd be willing to bet you whatever I could buy in 2018 also has more than doubled in the last 6 years because inflation. And when you pump money into the marketplace, meaning our stimulus money, the PPP loans, and extra pay for unemployment and all these type of things, that also created a boom in profits, a boom in spending. So the prices went up. And I'll be willing to bet over 6 years, prices did go up more than 100% on a lot of things. So keep that in mind as well when you're out here thinking about precious metals, gold and silver. But again, nothing wrong with having a little bit of it. And with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.